So a few thoughts on politics. I don't do a lot of politics on this channel. I have made videos about Trump and Biden before when it specifically pertains to men's rights. But I always say that something I like about the men's rights movement is that it's not political, in the sense that it's not partisan. We're not right-wing, we're not left-wing, we're not Democrat, we're not Republican. So I don't usually talk about politics in that sense, but I'm going to do kind of a special video on politics today and sort of just break down and reflect a little bit on how I see politics in the United States today. And quite frankly, it's a disgrace. Now, I confuse people a lot. Because I will defend Donald Trump and I will criticize Donald Trump. I will defend Joe Biden and I will criticize Joe Biden. If Donald Trump or Joe Biden does something that I agree with it. If they do something that I disagree with it. And people, I get on Twitter sometimes or on Facebook, people will see that I defend and or criticize both parties and they get confused because they're like, how come you're not sticking with your guy? How come you're not sticking with your side? So let me get this very clear. I don't have a guy or a side. I'm not loyal to any party or any politician. I have values and beliefs, and that is the only thing that I am loyal to. I am loyal to my values and my beliefs, and whatever candidate best represents my values is the candidate I vote for. If I think the Republican is better than the Democrat, I'll vote for the Republican. If I think the Democrat is better than the Republican, I'll vote for the Democrat. So, and there's many times I leave my ballot on certain elections blank because I look at both names and I go, nope, can't do it. Won't be responsible for that. You know, I don't want to be responsible for this clown show. So when I think of the prospect of 2024 of a Donald Trump, Joe Biden rematch, people ask me, what would you think if it's between Trump and Biden in 2024? Let me tell you, if America chooses a Donald Trump, Joe Biden rematch in 2024, I just might lose hope in this country. I would be so depressed because are you really telling me that's the best we can do? That's the best we can do? Is Donald Trump or Joe Biden? And something I don't like about the current political landscape is the going back to when people are confused by how I don't stick to my one side is people are now so absolutist in that if they support the Democrats, they disagree with 100% every single thing Republicans and Trump ever says or does is wrong. And Republicans, every single thing Joe Biden and Democrats does is 100% wrong. And that's just not realistic. That's just not true. And the fact of the matter is, both Fox and CNN, they lie. And they do misrepresent the facts and they do distort the facts of the other side. So it's, to me, a situation that frankly reflects a South Park episode. I would never be allowed anywhere near the White House because I would clean so much things up. These special lobby groups, these special interest groups, there is so much corruption that goes on, but that's pointless to even talk about because that's, you know, just how it is and how it's always been and probably how it's always going to be. But people wonder about the men's rights movement and they have this perception that we are a right-wing, alt-right, whatever group, and this is absolutely not true. The men's rights movement is not conservative or liberal, and there are very few politicians on any party that have really talked about men's rights. Now, I did a video on Donald Trump a few years ago talking about how he was for men's rights. And overall, I gave him a negative review. I agreed with Betsy DeVos reviewing the kangaroo courts for false accusations on campuses, but Trump did a lot of very bad things for divorced men in terms of alimony laws. So I put a link to that video if you want to see it. So just so that's clear, I gave Trump a negative review on men's rights. I've done videos on Joe Biden on how his restaurant relief bill discriminated against white men. Not white people, white men. Thus a men's rights issue, thus I made a video about it that I've also linked in the description below. But the men's rights movement doesn't really have a party, and we're not really left or right. The only MRAs that I can think of, I know this, I'm probably forgetting someone, but two that come to mind, Philip Davies is an MP in the UK who's talked about men's issues, and Andrew Yang has been talking about men's issues lately, and he's been getting positive reception on social media, which was encouraging to see. But anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Hopefully we can do better. Hopefully we can turn this country around and start getting proper candidates and better candidates in, because I'm looking at what we have now and I just cannot believe that this is the best America has to offer. It can't be true. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's that.